Hello, and welcome to the second part of the Evolution Simulator video series. Today I've decided to allow my trees to attack each other in order to foster competition. When trees attack each other, they decrease the lifespan of surrounding trees by a set amount. This hopefully will give them more room to grow, making attack an advantageous trait to have. Let's see how this plays out in the simulation. To see which species is succeeding, I've decided to add a graph on the right side of the screen, where attack is on the vertical axis and reproducibility is on the horizontal axis. Unfortunately, from running the simulation, what's happened is that trees prefer to have low attack and high reproducibility. This would mean trees would be at a disadvantage if they had high attack, because they'd be forgoing other traits while helping other trees with those traits survive. Therefore, this actually makes sense. In order to fix this problem, I need to add a mechanic where trees benefit directly from attacking other trees. To do this, I'll use a vampire mechanic, so that trees increase their health when they attack other trees. Let's add this to the simulation and see what happens. So I did some testing and initially it wasn't working. So what I did is I made the vampire ability much more powerful. I made reproducibility less important. And the one interesting thing that I did find is that it takes a lot longer for the simulation to reach its optimal stage. So that's why the simulation is sped up now. Interestingly, on the graph you can see the big mass representing the trees moving up slowly in a leftwards and upwards direction. What this represents is it's gradually shifting towards increasing its attack and decreasing its reproducibility. In the hexagonal grid, we have a visual representation of the diversity of the tree's genomes through the different colors. I don't know if this diversity is a good or bad thing, because on the one hand it means my simulation is allowing diversity, which should be a good thing because that's my eventual aim, but it also means suboptimal trees are being allowed to live, which goes against my goal. Finally, I'll bring back the cheese grater pattern on the top of the hexagon from the last video. This will effectively create two different environments. Hopefully, because the trees are more complex now, the two different environments will lead to two different species of trees being dominant, and which we'll be able to see on the graph. Let's try this. Again, I sped up the footage by a lot because it takes a long time for the simulation to reach any sort of equilibrium, and I also had a much larger number of trees in this simulation. I'm honestly very impressed by the two different types of trees that are being fostered by the two different environments. On the top half, it seems that attack is a lot less useful. That's probably because all the trees in the top half only have 4 adjacent trees, where in the bottom half they have 6 adjacent trees, meaning there's less benefit to having attack in the top half. I'm actually surprised by how much it separates, just because of that small difference. But we can also see very clearly that the graph is sort of like elongating, and there are, even though it's not 2 separate areas, there are definitely, you can split it in half. And This was definitely much more of a success than the previous video. If you have thoughts on the video, I'd love to hear them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.